Aortic disease is very clear, very simple. Aortic disease is covered by a straightforward series of directions. Aortic disease, first of all, it's chest pain when dissection occurs. It's chest pain that is substernal in location, and it's chest pain that radiates through to the back, straight through to the back, in between the scapula. If they want you to know the answer, they have to tell you something. If they want you to know the answer, they have to let you know. Now, one of the great advantages of having a board test is if they want you to know the answer, they got to tell you something so that you know the answer. It's not like life where anything can be anything. In life, it could be like this. Hi, sweetheart, how are you feeling tonight? And she says, I'm fine. Well, you don't look fine. You look unhappy. You look mad. No, I'm fine. Really? Is that like the female fine? Like you're going to kill me when I'm asleep? Yes, I'm fine and I'm going to kill you. You see, in the boards, if they want you to know the answer, they have to tell you something. They have to tell you. They have to tell you. They have to tell you if they want you to know it's aortic dissection. They have to tell you it's substernal chest pain that goes through the back. They have to tell you that there's a difference between the right arm and the left arm in terms of the blood pressure. The best initial test is a chest x-ray that shows a wide mediastinum. If they want you to know the answer, they have to tell you something. If they want you to know the answer, they have to let you know. I told you it was chest pain radiating straight through the back, wide mediastinum, different blood pressure between both arms as it dissects through the subclavian arteries. And you have this wide mediastinum, that means you're going to die. Now, you might think that this is very easy. It's not so easy. You know, the guy who made 526,300 minutes, how do you measure a year? Well, you know, Seasons of Love, the guy who wrote Rant had his dissecting aneurysm missed in a hospital in New York City. And yeah, how about love, right? So the thing is, he went home, then he went to the theater, and he had chest pain in the theater, and he dissected and he died the night before Rent opened. So when you're studying for this test, it's hard sometimes to remember that everything we're doing really matters to someone. It really matters because they're people who love other people and other people love them. And if you make a mistake, somebody's going to die. And some people find that frightening, and other people say, no, I want to be where the struggle is most intense. And so that's why there's a wide mediastinum missed. Why did a 27-year-old, 28-year-old, 29-year-old, otherwise healthy guy have chest pain? You don't need to have a history of hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, although often people do have a history of hypertension and tobacco smoking. Wide mediastinum. After that, CT angiogram or magnetic resonance angiogram, harder to get, or transesophageal echo, harder to get. How can we get a CT angiogram most of the time? Because it's easier to get. It's just simply easier to obtain. And of course, the single most accurate test is an angiogram with a catheter. Catheter into that aorta. We don't have to do that. We can do it based on these less invasive tests. So we have pain that's substernal, pain that radiates straight through to the back, pain where you have a difference in blood pressure between both arms, pain that gives a wide mediastinum, CT angiogram. Angiogram is the most accurate test. And the therapy. This is a very simple section. Beta blockers, then nitroprusside. Surgical repair, stent or replacement. Repair or replacement or pleural replacement. How hard is that? Now, to be fair to people, it's easy for us. All we have to do is get a CT angiogram. We have the diagnosis. CT angiogram, we have the diagnosis. So we don't have to think so much. We don't even need the magnetic resonance angiogram. We don't need the transesophageal echocardiogram, magnetic resonance angiogram, transesophageal echocardiogram. We get a CT angiogram, and we is done. Isn't that awesome? It's a beautiful thing to be practicing medicine. We are now. What could we do 30 years ago? 40 years ago? 40 years ago? Do you know 40 years ago there was no colonoscopy? No angiogram? No MRI? No ACE inhibitors? No calcium blockers? Wow, what did they do? I don't know. Next. Here goes. Here's very romantic. Very romantic. You have a 65-year-old man and his 65-year-old wife. And what do they do on their wedding anniversary? He gets abdominal aortic aneurysm screening and she gets bone densitometry. He gets it if he was ever a tobacco smoker, even if he stopped smoking 30 years ago, he gets a sonogram once because at 5 centimeters it gets repaired. She gets bone densitometry to see if she's got osteoporosis. It's so romantic. What are you going to do on that anniversary? Oh, you hold hands and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get bone densitometry. You get abdominal aortic aneurysm screening. So sweet, so romantic. If he was ever a smoker, one time abdominal aortic aneurysm screening and bone densitometry if you at the age of 65, and all ladies. Very simple answer. See, it's an easy section. I told you this one little easy section. One little easy section.